Those are like more expensive. Wow.
You're sharing this.
Yeah.
So we need to,
Yeah. Later I will
you know how to.
come back to the Zoom and press share screen.
Okay, so Thomas,
Yes.
did you go down to the Chuan Park showroom
Yes, I did.
on the weekend?
It
How was
was-
it?
Okay. Number one, parking is going to be an issue. And try
At
to
the show flat, you mean?
yeah.
Ah,
So
okay.
you can't park at the show flat.
Ah, okay.
So the nearest parking spot is next door, which is called the New Tech Park, which is also going to be like a retail space that is going to be nearest to Chuan Park down the road. And the
Ah,
parking is quite intensive. So remember to put on some soothing music as you're driving in.
Intensive.
Really, I tell you, the parking
Very
situation,
tight.
not just very tight, the queue is very long. So
Ah.
many people went down to the Chuan Park show flat, and we're gonna dive into that as to why it's happening that way.
Okay, so if you want to go down to the Chuan Park show flat, you need to set up an appointment, right?
That is
Yeah,
correct.
so you may set up your appointment with Thomas. We'll give you guys his contact information at the end. So
Yes.
if you want to visit the Chuan Park show flat, Thomas, when
Yes.
is the last day you can visit the show flat?
Oh, you can visit the show flat anytime, but it might not be open after the cut-off date.
And when is the cutoff date?
It is actually on the 7th,
Which is tomorrow?
which is tomorrow.
So the cutoff date is tomorrow.
Yes.
What does that mean? So if you're interested,
Yes,
what should you do?
if you're interested. Okay, so this is how it works, right? If you want to go down and put a check, it does not guarantee that you are able to buy a unit. Do you know that?
Yes, of course.
Yeah, so a check gives you a chance to ballot. So when you ballot, you get a queue number. So just a sense, the last weekend we had about 5,000 visitors going down to the show flat.
Actually, the 5,000 was just on the first day.
It's just on the first day, yeah. So because I went on a weekday and the parking situation was ridiculous as well. So a lot of people went down, and just imagine like maybe like 20-30% of the people just put a check. Yeah, so then you will have a queue number, right? So there's 916 units available at Chuan Park.
Okay.
Imagine if your queue number is 1,500. Yeah.
Okay, I see. All right, so is Chuan Park really that great, right? From our conversation, if you have gone down to the show
Yes.
flat over the weekend, you know that there is a lot of people visiting the preview.
Yes.
So is it really that great? We're going to explore that.
Yes. So we're going to dive exactly into what makes Chuan Park so desirable.
Right. So my name is Felicia. I'm your host tonight. And my guest today is Thomas Tong from PropNext. He'll be sharing all the facts and all the insights that you'll need in order to make an informed decision on whether you should buy Chuan Park.
Yes.
Okay, so just a brief background. 99.co, we comprise of 99.co and SRX. So if you don't already know, we are known for our property X value tool, offering 98% accuracy on your home valuation. So if you haven't already find out the value of your home, I will be showing you a QR code later where you can actually scan and find out the value of your property in 1 minute. So we are also known for our marketplace. So if you're looking for a home, whether it's a HDB, a private property, or home rentals, you can just go to 99.co to start your search right now. We are also known to be an expert for all properties in Singapore. We have guides on our insider blog, so do check it out. So this is how a marketplace looks like. This is actually Thomas Tong's listings on 99.co. So if you're interested, you can also check them out. We are actually more known in the industry for our best-in-class tools. So if you haven't been reading the news, I suggest you start catching up on property news. We are known for our monthly flash reports because we have the data in our systems to actually produce this necessary market information that the media will release every month. And this is how the Property X value works. So for example, you just have to key in your postal code, your unit number, and our system will generate the size of your unit and give you the estimate sale value of your flat and also the estimated rental value of your flat. So if you're not intending to sell your property, you might consider renting them out instead. So if you are looking to sell your house, you could actually ask us any questions. It's free. You scan the QR code and it'll take you to a form and you can just book your consultation there. Okay, so today's agenda, we'll be introducing Chuan Park,
Yes.
the 10-2-2 framework. What's
Yes.
the 10-2-2 again?
So 10-2-2 framework is one of the safest approach to identifying a property that's going to give you the highest probability of a capital appreciation.
So 10 is?
10 is in the last 10 years, there hasn't been a brand new condo in that area, which also means pent up demand.
That applies to Chuan Park, right?
That applies to Chuan Park
There
anymore.
hasn't been a new
Yes.
launch in Lorong Chuan for 14 years.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, 2?
2 is this property is under 200 meters away from the MRT station. In fact, Chuan Park beats that.
And the next 2?
The next 2 is the land size that the property is sitting on, at least 200,000 square feet and above. So for those of you people who are very savvy with your analysis, right? You can use this 10-2-2 approach and go and find out for yourself which are the condos that fall into this 10-2-2 framework and they didn't perform, and you let us know. Because from what we've researched, chances are, we cannot guarantee, right? We're not
Right.
like fortune tellers. Chances are they would have experienced a good capital appreciation.
Okay, so this is just based on facts, right?
Yes,
Record. This
that's absolutely
10-2-2
correct.
framework works for these condos.
Yes.
Okay, so and then we're going to be evaluating which stack of Chuan Park is better for you.
Yes. So whichever stack is better for the consumers, yourself who are watching, is primarily determined based on, because especially for those of people who are buying to stay, your budget, what kind of facing you like, whether or not your feng shui preference, whether you like facing the pool or outward facing. This is something that we will do for you in person. When you send in your inquiry, we'll bring you to the show flat and we'll show you around. But right now, we just touch briefly through.
The deadline is tomorrow.
Deadline is tomorrow, yes.
Okay, we'll also be covering the indicative prices for Chuan Park. Of course, we don't know the actual prices.
Yes.
There is also a chance the prices will be quite different from the indicative prices.
Yes.
Yes.
So we are expected to launch at a very competitive price because there are a lot of new launches out there. And this is one of the first to launch before Emerald Katong.
Okay, so we'll also be covering a bit of the floor plan and the importance of the stack analysis
Yes.
of a resale condo.
Yes.
That is quite similar to Chuan Park, right?
Absolutely.
Just to see how successful Chuan Park can be.
That is
in
correct.
the future. Okay.
Yes.
We have a Q&A at the end of the webinar as well. So prepare your questions and just throw them into the Zoom Q&A and we'll answer them at the end. So is Chuan Park really that great?
Well, Chuan Park is literally the best. Okay, but it's not opinion. This is opinion.
That is his opinion.
Yeah,
but
my opinion.
We're going to show you if it's really good.
Yes.
Okay, so I think one of the main draws is the ease of transportation. You know, we've spoken about
Yes.
Lorong Chuan MRT station being just at the doorstep of Chuan Park.
Exactly. So when we look at this MRT map, right, we need to zoom our attention into Bishan and Marymount. Okay, so later we're going to explain this concept called the dumbbell effect. So Lorong Chuan is one stop away from Bishan. And Marymount is also one stop away from Bishan. And there is a mega launch at Marymount which have performed tremendously well. And this condo doesn't even have as much amenities as Chuan Park. And it's highly profitable.
Which condo is that?
The condo is called Jadescape.
Jadescape.
So we're going to do a comparison, Jadescape versus Chuan Park as well, so that you can kind of visualize how, at the end of the tunnel, your investment is going to look like.
So we use Jadescape as a case study, right? When
absolutely right.
Yes. What is the resale value?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so yeah, we all know that there are many amenities around Lorong Chuan. You have a lot of schools, right? Could you name all those schools?
Yes. So the schools that are within 1 kilometer radius of that. So you got to understand one thing, right? When MOE sets the 1 kilometer radius, it literally means a circle. So disclaimer first, there will be some blocks within Chuan Park that is not within the 1 kilometer radius of the certain primary schools.
Yeah, so the stack that you choose is
very important. So we have Zhonghua, Peicai, Kuochuan, St. Gabriel, and Betty Secondary School. Okay, so When we talk about schools, these are parents who want to admit their kids into the school and hence they need the 1 kilometer address. Now we're going to talk about this important concept known as demand for lodging. Okay, so when we see right here, there are actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 international schools. 3 of them are under 1 kilometer radius from Chuan Park. 2 of them is under 2 kilometer radius.
That's really near.
Very near, right? So you know the students, the lecturers, all these people will need a place to rent.
So what does that mean? I mean, like, locals, we don't send our kids to international schools, right?
That's why we got 5 primary schools.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but expats.
Yes, expats. So they will need to rent, right? So
To rent.
down the road, when these people are looking for a condo to rent, something new, something big, something very near to the MRT,
And something near to international schools.
yeah, then this is literally like the only option. Yes.
Okay, some facts about Chuan Park. This developer is Kingsford. So Kingsford, it has also quite a recent development that has TOP.
Yes,
right?
and that would be Normanton Park. Normanton Park is a very interesting project, okay? Because initially, Normanton Park was slapped with a no-sale license, right? So in Singapore, we have this government arm called the COH, the Controller of Housing. They would determine whether or not the show flat and everything is up to standard and if the developer is going to deliver the quality before they allow the developer to start selling. Now, with such like controversy going on around Normanton Park, it still is very profitable based on facts which we're going to explore
And
later.
I mean, Normanton Park is not really near MRT station as well.
Exactly.
And it still did so well.
Extremely profitable, and it's the same developer.
Yeah. Okay, so Chuan Park has 916 units right now.
That's correct.
It's an en bloc from the previous Chuan Park, as you can see from the image on the right. That's the previous Chuan Park,
Yes.
which had about 400 over units.
Yes.
It's twice the size now, twice the number of units.
Exactly, which is a good thing.
Why is it a good thing?
Because your maintenance fee is going to go down.
I
Right? And the
see.
key number in this sheet would be that number 37215.60
So that's about 400,000 square feet
of land.
of land.
Yes.
And
So,
actually, it is twice the 1022 framework that you have, right?
yes, correct.
That you need a place like 200
At least 200,000 square feet.
Yes.
This is close to 400,000.
Wow, it's really big.
Very big.
So Chuan Park is next to Lorong Chuan MRT station.
Literally next to it.
So if you guys don't know exactly where Lorong Chuan is or Chuan Park, it's right here. As you can tell, it's just next to the Lorong Chuan MRT station.
Which is 1 stop away from Bishan, and Bishan is 1 stop away from Marymount.
That's true.
We're going to talk about that later.
Okay, so we'll be covering the unit distribution mix. Okay, this is the site plan.
This is the site plan, yes. So if you look very closely, the shape of the land looks like something. What does it look like to you?
A Christmas tree.
So you can see the developers have actually thought the layout very well, that the blocks are primarily not overlapping one another.
That's
Okay,
true.
majority of the units are north and south facing. So take a screenshot if you have to.
We'll be going back to the site plan
Yeah.
again. Okay. So just to cover, there are 2 bedrooms available. That's the smallest, right? There are no 1-bedders.
No one made it.
2 bedrooms. It's the legend that you see on the site map later. The blue color is 2 bedrooms. The yellow is 3 bedrooms. The purple is 4 bedders and 5 bedroom. There's 1 time only. It's the
Yes.
green one. All right. So, I mean, all in all, there are 3 blocks of 22 stories and 2 blocks of 19 stories. We're going to find out which stacks they are.
Yes.
Right. So this is the golden question.
Which stack is better for me?
Yes. Okay, so looking over here, we have the light blue. Okay, we'll look at the 2 bedders.
Yes.
Okay.
So for those of you who are interested in a 2-bedroom, you want to zoom your eyes into a few different parts of this image, right? Bottom right-hand side of the image, you see a compass. That black triangle you see over there is the north facing. So most of the blocks outside of the diagonal block on the bottom right, they are all direct north and south. We're going to break down the exact percentage later, right? And the 3-bedroom is represented by
the yellow
and
the purple is
for
the
4-bedroom and green for 5-bedroom. Okay, so take a screenshot if you have to, so you know exactly what you are potentially going to shortlist when
Yeah,
it comes
so
down to
which
it.
is best, right? Do I go for the ones that's north facing, right? The top
Mm.
at the tip. Do I go for the units or the stacks? I mean, at the left or the right?
Oh, with regards to this,
Yeah.
later we can see how close it is and whether or not
Ah.
you value privacy versus outward looking.
Mm. Okay, so just to have an indication of what to expect, right? The views that you're gonna enjoy, depending on which step you choose. So if you choose the ones at the north, your view is actually a lot of the landed properties, right?
Yeah, landed properties.
These are Serangoon Gardens.
Yes, and 30% of them are inward facing.
Mm.
But it's not all that bad because firstly, they're not really overlapping. Secondly, the distance between the blocks is pretty
The
far.
blocks are quite far away, and we're going to find out exactly how far away later. So yeah, this is the unblocked landed view to the north. And at the bottom, you have the other developments, and Nanyang JC is on the right. This is a pretty nice view, I
Yeah.
would say.
You want to buy? Okay, so
I can't afford.
so we look at block 248. Okay, now 248 is the most unique block.
Yeah.
Majority are all north and south, as you can see the breakdown, 41% north, 41% south. Now 248 has a 10% northwest. Do you know what that means?
10% northwest facing.
Yes.
So it would be affected a little bit by the west, the sunset.
Yes. I wouldn't say I mean the sun will come into your house
Oh, the sun will come when
Yeah.
the sun is setting.
when the sun is setting, right? And the other 8% is when the sun is rising.
Southeast, yes.
Yes. So it's probably going to be priced a little bit more competitive. So yeah,
Okay.
we will know on
So
launch day.
41% being north facing and 41% being south facing. This is a good thing.
This is one thing which the moment you buy,
Yes.
you don't need a hairdryer at home because it's going to be so well ventilated,
I see.
especially 242 and 244.
Okay.
Yeah, so now we can see the distance.
No, these are the distance between the blocks, right?
Yeah. So you see, even though block 250 and 246 are overlapping, they look into one another, the distance is 85 meters.
Yeah, that's pretty far.
Yeah, and for 248 to 246 is 80 meters. And for the rest, even though it's closer, but then you're not directly looking into each other.
Okay. So indicative prices for Chuan Park.
Yes. So we got to make a disclaimer. Indicative price might be higher or lower on launch day depending on the turnout. And later we're going to be using a development where the developers on the same day increase by about 10 to 20% on the same day.
Wow.
10 to 20% means if you had bought it in the morning, your queue number is very early on.
Yes.
By the time on the end of the day, you make like 100, 200K.
Wow.
On the same day. On the
So
same
your queue
day.
number is quite important.
Your queue number is very important.
Okay. So these are the indicative prices right now.
Yes.
It looks pretty okay.
Looks pretty okay.
Looks pretty okay.
Yeah, 3-bedroom, about 2.15.
Yeah, so I think the 2-bedders and the 3-bedders make up the majority of the units. So they're pretty good sizes, I would say.
Yes, which also means the 4 and the 5-bedroom, okay, at today's price point, 3.15, because it's so limited in quantity. Down the road, I mean, supply is going to be limited, right?
Yes.
And we are near to schools, international schools. So we're going to be expecting a family crowd in this area. That's primarily one of the reasons why we don't have 1-bedrooms.
So the 1022 framework, a floor plan analysis, and a similar resale project analysis for Chuan Park. We'll be talking about Forest Woods.
Yes, let's talk about Forest Woods.
Okay, so Chuan Park is the new launch, right?
Yes.
And this on the right is Forest Woods, which is an existing resale. We'll be using this project to gauge if Chuan Park is going to be a success.
Yes.
Okay.
So you see, right? Why are we, I'm going to share my screen, right? Why are we using Forest Woods? Okay. And why is Forest Woods similar to Chuan Park? Firstly, they are one MRT station away. Share screen, right? And Forest Woods is the newest condo that is the nearest to the MRT station. So I'm going to start my broadcast so you can see my iPad. Is it?
Yep, so you should.
Okay, so look very closely over here. So when I'm going to type in Forest Woods, I'm going to first show you the profitability. Okay, so if over here on the tab, you can see my cursor. I'm going to click on 6 months. When I click on 6 months, you can see 100% of the people who transact at that period is profitable. I click on 2 years, 100% profitability. 5 years, it's still 100% profitability. 10 years, let's see how many people actually lost. It's still 100% profitability. So anybody who bought a unit in Forest Woods from launch all the way till now, 10 years, everybody made profits. How do we know exactly how much profits they make? So we're going to look at the tower view. So I'm just going to use some random stack as an analysis, right? So let's just look at the small one to the big ones, okay? It might be a little bit too small, the fonts over here. So what I'm going to do is after I select, I'm going to screenshot it and I'm going to blow it up so that everybody can see. Okay. Let's look at, okay, let's say for example, block 15, okay? Let's use one as an example. The 990 square feet, 1130. Okay, so you can see right now. I'm going to screenshot this little box right here. You can see clearer, right? So I'm going to put it into this app. And you can see exactly the amount of profits that this person made. Now, so this person held the property for 8 years and 4 weeks. Okay. Initially, when it was launched, it was done at this price point, $1.426 million. So today we're going to give you an idea of what it means to have bought this property at 1.426 and having your property today worth a $2.028 million. Okay. So I'm just going to write it down here. Take out my calculator. So if this person had bought the property at 1.426 million, this person would have taken a loan of $1.069 million.
This is 75%.
75% of 1.426, right?
Okay.
Over the course of 8 years, this person would have paid off some of the 1.069 million. Now, let's assume today, this person's outstanding loan stands at, let's just say, $900,000. Okay, this is an outstanding loan. Today, if this person were to sell his property at $2.028 million, minus away the $900,000, this person would take back a $1.128 million. This is this person's profit margin. And back then, when they bought the property at 1.426 million, they have to cough out a 25% down payment and a 4% stamp duty, which equates to $413,000. Okay, so this is what we call your outlay. So taking out $413,000 and today being able to get back $1.128 million. I mean, we cannot say with certainty that Chuan Park is definitely going to be like this. We can only show you properties with similar characteristics and the kind of profit margins that they have achieved. So assuming if this person sells away their 3-bedroom and they get back a 1.128 million. So it's the same equation, right? 1.128 million. If they're gonna divide it by this, they are able today to afford a $3.8 million property. Okay, so how we get the number is 1.128 divided by 29%.
Why 29%?
Because 25% is the down payment, 4% is the stamp duty. So you can see how property prices have gone up so fast, right? Because back then to buy a 3-bedroom that is walking distance to Serangoon MRT, you only need to cough out 413.
Right.
Yeah, but today they are able to get back 1.128. Okay, so this is one example of a property with a similar characteristic to Chuan Park. One MRT stop away, and you know what? This property is not even as big. So Chuan Park is likely going to have a higher chance of a capital appreciation.
Higher. appreciation.
Higher appreciation, yes. Okay, we go back to the slides, huh?
Okay, wait.
Hmm?
Even compare to Jetscape.
Oh yeah, another one. Okay, the next property we want to look at is the one that we stayed right from the start, right? This property is called
Near Marymount MRT,
near
right?
Marymount MRT. Now, this property is called Jadescape. Jadescape is very important to see. Why is that so? Now, can we agree, right, that primarily new launches are deemed to be more expensive than resale property? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes. So today what we want to see is how much did Jadescape recently transact for? If I'm going to sort according to PSF, you can see that Jadescape have already achieved $2,800 PSF. Can you see? Or I can hover this. Oh. When you circle, okay.
You circle?
Okay, so can everybody see my cursor, right?
Mm.
So you can see Jadescape today, which is one stop away from Bishan MRT, the same distance as Lorong Chuan to Bishan, have already achieved a PSF of $2,800, $2,700, $2,400. So today, you are actually able to buy a brand new condo pretty much the same or even cheaper than an existing resale condo, which really goes against everything that we have learned. Everybody always say, wow, the new condo so expensive. But in actual fact, Chuan Park is very likely going to be cheaper or even same price as Jadescape.
Competitive now.
Exactly. That's why it's so important to understand this dumbbell effect, right? One station from Bishan is Marymount, one station from Bishan is also Lorong Chuan. And this Jadescape is 1 kilometer radius to one school. Which school is that? There's one school. But for Chuan Park, we have I cannot say 1 km to 5 schools because some blocks are not within.
Yeah.
So for Jadescape, you might want to take this down because when you do your research, this is important for you to see. Jadescape is officially 1 kilometer radius to Catholic High School.
Oh, Aitong.
Aitong is 1.1 kilometer.
Right, so very new. It's a good school.
It's a good school, but it's not 1 km.
Yeah.
Okay.
Almost 1 km.
International school, they have 1. And for Chuan Park, we have
5.
5.
Wow.
Yep. That's what, and the size is very similar. Jadescape has 1,206 units, also sitting on a land size of 408,000, whereas Chuan Park is close to 400,000, about 380 over 1,000, 916 units.
Very similar. I could see why you want to use Jadescape as the
Exactly.
project to compare.
Exactly. And Jadescape only got 1 school, Chuan Park got 5 plus 5 plus the international schools.
Wow.
Okay, so this is Jadescape. Today, if you buy Chuan Park, you're very close or even cheaper than Jadescape. So we're going to go back to the...
Are there any other projects that you feel that
yes.
we should?
Yes. Speaking of which, there are. Okay, so these...
We'll do one more.
We do one more. Okay. So the primary condo that I want to show is these 2 condos, right? I want to show these 3. Sims Urban, Penrose, and Park Esta. Now, these are major developments by reputable developers that is very close to the MRT station. Okay? So a lot of people will be thinking, why should I buy something that is in the 2,000 plus PSF and buying at this PSF, which is already so expensive, will it continue to go up? So these developments over here, the first thing we need to know is Sims Urban was the first development that is near to Aljunied MRT, the first, biggest and newest, shortly after Penrose came out.
Right.
So let me ask you, do you think Penrose is going to be cheaper or more expensive than Sims Urban?
More expensive.
More expensive. You are right. It is more expensive. And did the price also continue to go up?
Yes,
it did, right? Park Esta came out later, so it's more expensive.
Yes.
And the price also continued to go up.
Yes.
So if you're going to study a lot of projects that meets this requirement, I'm close to the MRT, I'm sitting on a big piece of land, reputable developer. Chances are, even though they launch more expensive, the prices still have the ability to go up. And Jadescape is one of the very good examples. Okay, so what if today, imagine this, just now you took it as a given that Penrose, because it launched later than Sim, so it's going to be more expensive.
Yes.
Today, there is a good chance Chuan Park and Jadescape is going to be similar or even cheaper. Chuan Park is going to be cheaper. So this makes it an extremely safe entry price, right? If Jadescape can transact at this amount of PSF, down the road, Chuan Park is going to have a good chance. Okay, so this is the last example. Okay, then we come back to this.
Okay, so we were talking about the stack
Yeah,
analysis.
finished, yes.
Yes, okay, we're done. The Ori.
Yes. So with so many new launches in the market, the most natural question would be, as an investor,
Yes.
people buying for own stay, they have a preference. That one we're not going to talk about it, right? What is the properties that is going to give me the better chance from a pure investment standpoint? So we have handpicked this one specifically because we have done tremendous amount of research and we have found out that every single condo in Toa Payoh, for as long, disclaimer, for as long as they bought it from the developer on day one, nobody made a loss. In the resale transaction, anything can happen. Maybe the seller fire sale, you bought it cheaper, anything can happen. But every single development in Toa Payoh, you buy it from day one, they're all profitable, and hence Ori is going to be one of the more exciting ones next year.
Right. And I mean, Chuan Park has so much demand.
Yes.
So if you're interested in Chuan Park, please, reach out. Thomas can take you to the show flat and do the analysis for you.
Yes.
Yeah, and I mean, the cutoff date is tomorrow.
Yes,
And-
tomorrow before evening, come down with me, and then I'm gonna walk you through the whole process in person, specifically looking at the stack, the price, whether or not you are able to afford it by helping you to do all the financial calculations.
Yeah, and if you miss it, I guess you can wait for
Post-launch.
Ori.
You can wait for Ori. Oh yeah, you can wait for Ori as well.
You can wait for the Ori. I think the Ori is launching in January or something.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do we still have time to show one example?
Yes, we do.
You do? Remember just now I talked about this development, that the developers increased the price in one day?
Yes.
Yes, we're gonna look at that in one day, and I'm gonna prove it to you. Okay, wait. Okay, am I gonna share screen first? Okay, I share screen. So look very closely. I'm gonna share my screen right now. This development, if you are new in the property market, you might not have seen this. This one is definitely worth exploring. Pasir Ris 8 sells 85% and up to $2,000 per square feet, and the developer confirms several price reviews.
So this was back in 2021.
Correct. Okay. So from this article, we need to pick out and learn a few things. Number one, Singaporeans love the I word. Do you know what the I word is?
What's the I?
Integrated. So Pasir Ris 8 is an integrated development. There's a residential component, commercial component, and there is a transportation component. Bus interchange, MRT station, everything, right? So there's high demand. 85% in day one, $2,000 up to $2,000 per square feet in Pasir Ris is ridiculous.
Yeah,
right?
It's very expensive then.
Yes. So when you are at the show flat during the launch day, the booking day, it's going to be very chaotic, right? So they usually do it in batches. They will do all the selection booking, right? I don't know if they can hear that.
Yeah,
so usually they will call for a break in the middle. Like they will do
Okay,
they will do maybe 100 units sold already. Then they say, okay, we're going to take a break, 15 minutes break, and then we'll come back later. Do you know, during these breaks, the developers would actually see how many people turn up, how many people actually gave the check and they still turn up. From this, they would then increase the price immediately on the same day. And we're going to prove it to you. This is on the Straits Times, okay? So I'm going to show you this analysis. So over here, Pasir Ris 8 is in District 18. Look very closely. Over here, transaction data. So one good thing about Singapore is that everything is lodged in the URA. Okay, so now let's look at the 4-bedroom. I'm just going to sort by price. Now, you follow my cursor. You can see that the lowest 4-bedroom ever transacted at Pasir Ris 8 is $1.838 million. Okay? Now, we're just going to do a real quick stack analysis. Okay? So I want you to see this date over here, 24th of July, 2021. Can you see? Right. And this unit was transacted at $1.838 million. And on the same day, 24th of July, 2021, the same 4-bedroom, same size, 1303 square feet, right?
Yeah.
1.8 went up to 2.1, went up to
Wow.
$2.148 million. You see? Same day.
So within the same day,
Mm.
some buyers actually
Yes. Yes, they paid.
figuratively made money.
Yes, you are absolutely right.
Yes.
Yes. So this is just one example. Of course, if we continue to drill in, because we have very specific data, we're able to show everything. But just for your understanding, if Chuan Park really have that amount of checks and turn up rate,
Yeah.
like for example, if 4,000 people really turn up and there's only 918 units,
Yes.
I'm not saying that it will, but I'm saying it has happened before. Price reviews on the same day could happen, which means buying it at post-launch would probably mean you pay higher. Okay, so this is one thing to take note. It's going to be very chaotic on that day, so just have to be smart about it. Okay, I think that's pretty much. We can take Q&A.
Okay, so if you have any questions, please drop them into the Q&A in Zoom, and we'll answer them. Oh, there is one question. Can you repeat the 10-2-2 framework?
Sure. Okay, so if you are taking notes, you want to take this down, right? 10 stands for in the last 10 years, there hasn't been a brand new condo in the area. By the way, we have the full list of condos that meets the 10-2-2 requirement. If you do reach out, we can send it over to you. Okay. The number 2 is the 200-meter distance away from the MRT, 200 and under. The lesser, the better. Integrated, the best, because Singaporeans love convenience, right? Integrated. The last 2 is the property is sitting on a land size of 200,000 square feet or more. This would be extremely safe. Now, there's a lot more properties that we can talk about. I'm just going to say it out loud, but we might not have time to show you the numbers, right? But if you're taking notes, you want to take this down. Normanton Park, Florence, Riverfront, Treasures, Affinity. So these 5 developments that I just mentioned, they are what we call mega developments. Treasures being the biggest, 2,300 units, right? So a lot of people at that point were thinking, are you crazy? You asked me to buy a condo, 2,300 units. How is it different from staying in HDB? The density is so high. I want to go and use the swimming pool and I have to queue up, right? But these people have made so much profits. So even if you don't like to stay in Treasures down the road, you sell your property, cash out your profits, you still have options. Yeah,
that's true. You need to have options, right?
Yes. So this is these are the 5 developments that we cannot show right now, but we can show you in person if you send us an inquiry, and
So,
that's 10-2-2.
Just a reminder. So the Chuan Park cutoff date for checks is tomorrow, 8
yes.
p.m. Yeah, so if you want an appointment to enter the show flat and you want to place a check, you can reach out to us.
Yes.
Okay, so we'll be waiting for some more questions if you have. Meanwhile, do you know your property value? Because this is important, right? If you
Yes.
are planning to sell your home before you buy your next property, which it could be Chuan Park, it could be other launches as well. There are
Yeah.
too many that just launched this month, right? So how do you find out your property value?
Oh,
I think we want to address this as well.
yes.
Yes.
Okay, so if you are doing some research, right, this is one of the most important things for your exit strategy. Okay, so I want you to focus your attention on 2023 volume and 2024 volume. Okay, so you can see, wow, do you see this? Oh, I can zoom in. So in the year 2024, which is this year to date, there has been 848 HDBs that transacted above $1 million. This is a very important number because when these people sell their HDB above $1 million, it means that they have enough cash and CPF coming back into their bank account in order for them to buy over your Chuan Park unit down the road when it TOPs, allowing you to make a profit. So we want to identify the areas with the highest amount of properties that transacted above $1 million. So the first one, if you can see over here, it would be Kallang Whampoa. 123 HDBs in Kallang Whampoa in 2024 transacted at least $1 million and above. The second one will be Bukit Merah with 111 transactions. The third one would be Toa Payoh with 103 transactions. Now, very interesting thing to note about Toa Payoh is Bidadari is under the Toa Payoh umbrella. All right. And when these people at Bidadari, when they sell off their HDB, which we already know is going to be above $1 million, these are your prospective buyers who would come and buy Chuan Park. And then the next one would be Queenstown. I don't think anybody in Queenstown will go and buy Chuan Park. And then we also want to look at Bishan.
Bishan.
67.
Yeah, Bishan is just one stop away.
And Ang Mo Kio.
Ang Mo Kio,
58. Yes. So there are a lot of math behind understanding why is it that when they sell their HDB above $1 million, they have more affordability to be able to buy over your unit at a profit. And this one we can dive into it another time.
Can make an appointment with Thomas. I suppose. Okay, so finding out your property valuation. Do you want to know if you are sitting on $1 million home?
Yes.
So, I've this is just an example. Okay, I will not say whose house this is. So right now, this house is valued at $1.6 million, an estimated sale value, estimated rental value 4.7. So if you are also contemplating not selling your home, you want to use it for rental yield, you can also find out the estimated value so that you can make an informed decision to sell or to rent it out. So for this particular home, the potential gain is 700 to 800K. So we will be able to show you what is the potential gain for this unit itself. Is an 82% increase from the last purchase price.
Yes. Wow, that was 24 years ago.
24 years ago.
24 years ago.
You can also look at the recently sold properties nearby.
Yes.
So just for you to get an example of what your neighbors are selling as well. So to find out your home value, all you need to do is to scan the QR code to download the app on the left, or if you already have the 99.co app, you can scan the QR code on the right.
Can I just make a comment, right? Just now, the previous one, you said in 24 years, that property saw a $700,000 to $800,000 capital appreciation.
Yes.
Correct?
Yes.
24 years.
24 years, yes.
Remember this?
Yeah.
In 8 years, this is...
So just now, Thomas was showing the example of Forest Woods, right? Yes. So in a matter of 8 years, it showed a capital appreciation of 600K.
Yeah.
It depends, right?
Yeah, it depends.
So you have to really choose the correct project.
Yes.
That can give you that kind of gain in just a matter of years.
Yeah, and the thing about real estate is most people see real estate as a utility tool. they buy to stay. It needs to be in an area where their family, their friends is.
Mm.
So a lot of people are willing to actually part with good money, give profits to the other owners just so that they can have their needs met. And that is where if you can forego that, you'll be able to make that profits.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, so Q&A time. So if you have any questions, maybe you don't have a question right now, but you can just scan this QR code and you'll be connected to Thomas on WhatsApp.
Oh,
So yeah,
how come my WhatsApp got 99 logo?
we just put our logo there. Like.
Okay.
Connect with Thomas and to make your appointment, because the Chuan Park show flat will have a cut-off date, right? Tomorrow. It's very fast. We have like literally less than 24 hours.
Yeah. So it's very interesting phenomenon, you know, because the developers actually had this runway where they're gonna do preview over a longer period of time before they do the cut-off.
Yeah.
And then it got shortened.
Yeah. It was not supposed to be tomorrow.
It's not supposed to be
This
tomorrow.
is how crazy the demand is, right?
Yes. So remember the Pasir Ris 8 phenomenon, especially for those of you who haven't entered the market during the 2021 period. It is actually possible for developers to increase the price on the same day itself.
Yeah.
That's the first keynote, right? The second one is today, you are actually likely going to be buying at the same price or even cheaper than the resale property, which makes that whole statement of new launch is more expensive than resale. This has already been done.
Yeah.
The third thing I think we can anticipate is, I'm sure if you are in the market, you would have seen that interest rates are dropping. I think the lowest interest rates today is about 2.4%. It's on the front page, right? So what typically happens is when the cost of borrowing goes down, transaction volume for property would go up because it's cheaper to borrow money, right?
Yeah.
So when there is higher transaction volume, developers would, of course, increase their price also.
Yeah, that happens. And also this cutoff date, right, being
Yes.
brought forward. Has it happened before?
Well, not that I remember.
Not that I know of.
Not
as
that I
well.
know
So
of.
this is really quite unprecedented.
Yes.
You know, so if you want an appointment to go to the showroom to take a look, or you want to connect with Thomas directly, just scan the QR code to WhatsApp him directly. Okay, so I think we'll be checking if we have any we have more questions. For the Pasir Ris 8 example that was quoted, could the price difference be due to the size of the unit and the level?
Okay, I would love to address that, but I cannot do it publicly because some of these data is PDPA. I can tell it to you in person, I can show it to you, but I cannot screenshot and tell the whole world that this person who bought in Pasir Ris 8, this unit number, because it's PDPA. But we're talking about a floor difference of like 2 to 5 floors for 200 over 1,000. Now, this phenomenon usually only happens in properties with a view. For example, if you talk about properties in Marina Bay area, the sale at Marina, right? You have the bay view, you got the high expressway view. So this kind of, they will have a stack premium because of the view. But for a place like Pasir Ris, the same stack, 2 to 5 floor different, $200,000 difference. This only happens because there was an overwhelming demand, and developers know even if they increase the price by 200,000, the buyers will still buy. So that's why they did it.
Oh, okay. Someone's asking, can you help to write down the 5 condos in the chat?
Sure. Right. How do I write?
Okay, maybe
I share screen?
Yeah, you can share the screen.
All right, get ready for primary school handwriting. Okay, I'm gonna write down. Share screen. Okay. So the 5 condos for analysis. We have the data, very specific data. The first one is Normanton Park. I just write short form, okay? Second one is Affinity at Serangoon. The third one is Florence. The fourth one is Riverfront Residence. The fifth one is Treasures. These 5 condos are severely frowned upon when people were buying it back then. Because a lot of people have this impression that a condo is supposed to be exclusive, atas, not so many people, privacy. But these condos are all mega developments. They're big, 1,000 units, 2,300 units. A lot of people are like, why would you buy something that doesn't give you that exclusivity, right? But every single one of these condos, if they had bought from the developers, every single one of them are sitting on very good, healthy profits. And that is what we can anticipate for Chuan Park as well.
So to reiterate, Normanton Park,
Normanton Park, Affinity at Serangoon, Florence Residence, Riverfront Residence, Treasures at Tampines.
let me write it down for our viewers, okay? Florence Residences, right?
That's right.
And
Riverfront,
Riverfront, yes, the one at Hougang.
yes, and Treasures at Tampines. If we have a couple minutes, right, I'll just share another concept with you. This concept. The concept known as valuation. Okay? Anybody who is buying a property would take a loan. Most people. Very seldom you would see somebody who will say, hey, I want to pay full cash for this property and not leverage, especially right now when interest rates is coming down. So one of the main key driving factors as to why and how profits is highly likely going to happen is because the developers would already increase their profit margin when it comes closer towards the TOP date. Because there will be this bunch of people who cannot afford to rent. If they sell their property and they buy Chuan Park, which means they have to rent in the interim. A lot of them want to stay all the way to when Chuan Park is completed. Then they sell off their property. Then they buy Chuan Park because now it's a ready product. And by then, valuation would have gone up because over the course of that 3 years construction, if the developers don't manage to sell all 916 units, towards the end, they're going to increase their profit margins tremendously. That is over the course of 3 to 4 years, right? The most outrageous effect would be like Pasir Ris said, in one day, they already increased by 10 to 20%. That could also happen. Yeah, looking at the demand right now.
Okay. Okay, so I think that's all the questions that we have. All right, so if you have any more questions for Thomas, we have sent the link into the chat. So please just take a look at the chat box. Click on that link and think of any questions that you might have, or if you want to make an appointment to go down to Chuan Park tomorrow.
Yes.
You have to be free tomorrow.
Yes. Really have to go down and see and yeah.
I feel like I would just like don't want to try and get a queue number. Because that's important, right?
And you know what? Actually, there are people who also feel like, wow, so many people, I don't want to, go and queue up and all. I mean, but it's all at the end of the day, you're doing it for bigger cost, and the bigger cost is profits. If you know you can buy something today and be able to sell it 3 years down the road for like a 20% profit, and over the course of waiting, you're not paying anything much.
True.
And I think it's good.
Okay, I think we've come to the end of our webinar. If you have any questions, please contact Thomas directly, make an appointment, just get a queue number, right?
Yeah, get a queue number.
Even if you don't want it, on the day itself, ask around. I'm sure somebody will. Can you? Okay, now pass queue number.
So, let me give you a very funny example, right? So, example, if like, let's say husband and wife, let's say we are husband and wife, right? And then you want to buy. Because my name is in a property, but your name is free, right?
Yeah.
And then I put a balloting ticket and you put a balloting ticket. How they know that we are connected is firstly by the address. So if our address is the same, they will flag it out and they would know. Secondly, assuming if my queue number is in front and yours is at the back, but you're the one buying, right? And then at the point of purchase, it has to be my name on the option. It can't be your name. So if I put my name on the balloting ticket on the check, it has to be that name.
Right. This is to make it fair.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you for staying with us. Oh, we are quite on time. It's 9:04.
Yeah.
Okay, so thank you for attending the webinar tonight. We have a next webinar on the 13th of November. So we'll be sending the communications for that. You can sign up for the next webinar if you are unsure still what to decide on. Yeah, stay tuned and good night, everybody.